It's one of the biggest nights in D.C.
I told my grandkids and Pete Buttigieg they could stay up late and watch this show tonight.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Politicians, the press, and entertainers come together for a special occasion. President Biden and host Roy Wood Jr. headline the unforgettable star-studded event, the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Roy, the podium is yours. I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man.
What? It's Monday morning. At least we got something on here.
Barely, Charlie.
Dark Brandon.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure he knows. But how fucked is that? The White House Correspondents' Dinner. You know, it got red carpet now?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the Golden Globes?
Yeah. It's an event. It's
Let me just tell you about the media, man. You are too ugly for the movies and too stupid for politics. They're up there. Mutual blowjobs, you know what I mean? Like, these are the people you cover.
But we don't have an event here, Charlie, but isn't that pretty much the same thing that's going on here?
You mean at the Mackinac Policy Convention.
Well, okay.
Y'all go up to the island, you eat oysters together, you party, what says on the island stays on the island.
You got that right.
Don't you know what time it is?
I don't think anybody cares.
People are they don't talk for us.
No, I don't think people care, Charlie.
Well, you know, I mean,
we do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that
people
that's
do
a general
care.
thing.
People care that the media is in the bag, that the media's shown itself to be partisan, and it's just a game of elites up there. Like as what was it, Professor Wolf? You know, he goes, you remember Professor Wolf, the pinko economist?
Mm-hmm. He was good.
He's excellent.
It goes, okay, you know, you got the Democrat, you got the Republican, they flip flop, a little bit of changes, but nothing changes because everything's run by the defense contractors and the big banks, and that's who pays for everything.
And here we sit.
And you want to know the hustle of the White House Correspondents' Dinner? You want to know what the culture of it is? For the media, the bigger star you have sitting at the table, the bigger your table is. So if you can get Glenn Close, right, you have a bigger table than if you have Pauly Shore sitting there.
It's just a game, Charlie. It's all a game.
But what does it say when the biggest stars that accept those invites are all D-list reality show idiots?
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's all the Real Housewives people I don't know.
Glenn Close didn't go?
No.
Oh.
She turned it down. I know, like that's your go-to famous actress.
Is that because they're reintroducing the Fatal Attraction? Is that why you're...
Are they?
Yeah, they've got a new one out.
I'm so out of the loop.
No, you're not, Charlie. We're all in different loops. That's all.
I'm in a feedback loop. Anyway, you know, to its credit, the New York Times does not allow its employees to go to that.
Good.
And that's where it should start. And we should stop mixing and stop being friends. I mean, I could do it. I won't do it. You could just check out people's social media accounts. The fuckers in media in this town drinking and partying and cavorting and carrying on with elected officials that they're supposed to be holding to account.
Charlie, that's something I never did. People would say, hey, let's go to lunch. No, I don't, because I never even wanted there to be an appearance of impropriety. You do your job, I'm going to do my job. And that's why you and I got along. We butted heads, but we got along. I respected what you were doing. You respected what I was doing. We don't need to be friends. We don't need to go to dinner. No, let's keep this above board and on the table.
You know, and that interplay between the media, politics, television / Hollywood, right? You're like, how is it reporters play their real life selves in fictitious movies? You can understand all of our confusion. You know what I mean? For like, all right, here's the media trying to tell you what to think. Let me give this to you. I'm sitting in bed with my New York Times. Paper New York Times. Yes.
I get a paper New York Times.
Do you fold it like this, like on the subway? Like
no.
you're on the N train?
No.
This is how you do it. This is how you take the New York Times, you fold it, and then you fold it again. It's like a cord. Like,
so
you know
New
why?
York.
That's because you're on the subway like this.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? You don't want nobody touching you.
Right.
You can't do this.
You can't man spread.
This is a no-no. No man spread
No man spray.
on the subway. So I'm reading this one. With Biden's bottom of the fold, A1 Sunday.
Big story.
With Biden seeking re-election, black voters' frustration brews. Black voters' frustration. So tell me, New York Times, what is it that black people are frustrated about? Here it is. Yet some black voters' biggest policy priorities, stronger federal protections against restrictive voting laws, student loan debt relief, and criminal justice and police accountability measures, have failed or stalled because of Republicans. Now, I heard, Karen, that you might be black a little bit. Can you please speak for all black people?
Yeah, you're a monolith. And you're their spokesperson.
Not today.
Is that what everyday Americans who have African ancestry are talking about? Federal protections against restrictive voting laws, debt relief from student loans, and criminal justice and police accountability measures?
Charlie, what I will say is that quietly, and there are a lot of people that are just so relentlessly democratic and supportive of Joe Biden regardless. But people are disappointed that he's not really delivered on anything. So,
But yes.
Yes.
Okay, like we'll go over there. I have another black friend. He's in the room.
you have two?
Well, I like to think so. I won't speak for black people. Hey, Red. Well, what's your concerns with the everyday living in America right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
at this moment, keep pot legal, federalized smoking.
Oh God, he's so
One track
high
mind.
again.
But
Oh,
no, I mean,
I
but-
thought he was sleepy. No, he's high again.
But you
Pot is too damn high.
But you think about, he came up with the student debt relief program, and then, it just dropped. It's been kicking the can. There's not an anti-lynching bill that's been affected. I mean, all these things are like dangling out, and, he wanted to try. Remember when he was on the Breakfast Club, when he was campaigning, and he said, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're not black enough. I mean, so but let's go back to when he was a senator. And remember, he was not necessarily the biggest advocate for issues that were
No, it's
supporting
lock
black
him up,
folks.
Joe, and
Exactly.
he was
so was Kamala Harris.
He was the man that pushed the Iraq War. There's no doubt about it. But like
his vice president called him out for the busing
Exactly,
issue
for the
too.
busing
So,
issue, but she was all,
But we're off track.
Oh, okay.
What is going on in everyday people's lives? Because the New York Times, this sounds like some Ivy League
that's
term
not
fucking
an
paper.
everyday concern.
How about
People are
this? I
concerned-
don't got no money.
Exactly.
Let me give you a number. We looked it up, right? The average wealth of a white household in metropolitan Boston a few years ago was, what was that? Was it 250,000, right? Yeah. Okay. And the average wealth, meaning what you own versus what you owe, the average wealth of a black family in metropolitan Boston was $8.
Wow.
$8. So,
I'm surprised.
dude, inflation went through the fucking roof. It's never coming down. That's a tax on working and poor people because the eggs went up and your wages didn't. And they're never coming down.
So gas, groceries, those are the things that I think that everyday Americans are concerned about. And everyday black people, you're right. I think they're also concerned about the systemic issues that continue to serve as roadblocks for them even navigating any of these things.
That there's this. America's radically changed in many years, right? There's suburban black America. It's a growing sector. Urban black America, that's two different things. But if you talk to urban Detroit African Americans, the crime, man.
Yeah, that's true.
My schools, dude.
Yep.
Like,
You're right.
what a debt relief for student loans. Most of that's like middle of the road, well-to-do white people.
Well, I mean, it's an issue that he dangled before African Americans. He wanted when he went to the black universities, and he's, so I mean, my thing is that, have your ducks in order before you dangle it out there, before you put it out there. And he didn't do it. But you're right, at the everyday level, and he may say, well, that's more of a local concern. That's your governor, that's your mayor. Those are the people that represent you. Politics are local. But yeah, those are the things that people are concerned about. How are they getting through day to day? What is the education like for their children? And will they be allowed to compete or be able to compete?
And then speaking of that, I mean, if you really want to if you had anything but Ivy League people that you're setting up there and you had real people, they tell you real things like, speaking of competing, we have 5 million new people living here from the third world, most of them not very educated. Now it's competing for the physical labor, the roofing jobs and the, trash collection jobs and all the stuff regular working people do. What happens to that wage?
Yeah, you're right. The people that keep us going. And I want to make sure we say that, because
Absolutely.
I think that component of it is often trivialized and overlooked, but it's the people that pick up the trash. It's the people that open the door, the people that answer the phone, the people that are bringing your food to the table. Those are the people that keep things going.
The people that work on the roads, right?
Yep.
The people who are gardeners, like all of these things.
Yeah.
The essential employees.
Yeah.
Remember that phrase?
Allegedly.
Drop it off on my porch. Like we forgot about them. I mean, and that's beyond Africa America. That's European America and Native America and Latin America.
And our seniors are part of that too, Charlie. I've been seeing a lot of people, they've worked all their lives and they're now delivering pizzas, or they're, doing stuff that they shouldn't have to do, but they have to do it in order to survive.
Well, I'm looking for, some federal protections against restrictive voting laws. Like I don't hear that in my everyday goings about town.
Who does the story? Who do they talk to? And that's what they come out with.
Crap. Just crap. I tell you what, man. There's so little good writing in that paper anymore. I almost thank God they got Maureen Dowd in the magazine and stuff, But I like fires, and there's nothing better to start a fire than newspapers.
Do you roll it up, Charlie?
No, Red does, and he's pissed because the rent's too damn high.
Not
the
that
price
kind
of
of roll
weed's
it
too
up.
damn high. Price of beer's too damn high. Gas is going up.
But hey, if that's what contributes to your everyday life, then those are the things that you're concerned about.
Banks collapsing.
That's true.
Most Americans
money
don't
unsafe.
Most Americans don't even care about that because they don't have any money in the bank. 50% of people don't got $400.
Wow.
In the United States.
But don't we know a multimillionaire in this room?
No.
Google me. I'm worth $8 million. $8 million.
So, Mark, we're getting bonuses for Christmas.
I had no idea.
Okay?
I know. It's great.
Red's like, why are we drinking Jameson? I go, because that's how you accumulate $8 million, motherfucker. We ain't doing Johnny Walker Blue.
No, that's only when you send me to the store.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you have other people buy your stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. The guy said, that'll be $200. I was like, for what?
Let's go get a drink. I forgot my wallet. My grandpa taught me that.
Oh, God. Okay.
That's a good rule.
Here's another one. So the Wall Street Journal, big story, it goes crazy on conservative Twitter. Epstein's private calendar. Not his black book like, everybody that's been on the island, but now his private calendar. So who's in his private calendar taking meetings with the pedo, the convicted pedophile rapist? The current CIA director, William Burns, former top Obama White House counsel, Catherine Rumler, who's now the top lawyer at Goldman Sachs.
Wow.
Liberal voice Noam Chomsky. Wow. Manufacturing consent, Noam Chomsky. So stop with the conspiracy theory. People are just taking meetings. It doesn't mean they're at Epstein Island raping children, right? Oh, look at that. There's another one. Oh, my God. Breaking news. See? Hunter Biden's laptop. No, the thing is, what it should reveal, don't draw a conclusion, but what it should reveal is, remember, Epstein went to prison in 2008, right? For trafficking underage females. These meetings are taking place in 2015, 2016, 2017. So what I want to point out, this is what you should see. The Illuminati, that it's a game about the Democrats and the Republicans. It's a superfiche of the well-connected, the Henry Kissingers and the Goldman Sachs and the Obama administration and the Bush administration. And they don't give a fuck if the guy's a convicted child rapist, if he can give them something.
Yep.
And that's going back to our complaints about the media.
Yep.
Right? Let me give you what Noam Chomsky, big voice on the left, far left. In the U.S., there is basically one party, the business party. It has two factions called Democrats and Republicans, which are somewhat different, but carry out variations of the same policies. I'll give you Iraq, I'll give you Ukraine, I'll give you bank bailouts. See me? By and large, Chomsky says, I am opposed to those policies, as is most of the population. And I think that is true. But he reveals himself, because when the Wall Street Journal calls him, here's what Noam has to say. Quote, the reporting of the Wall Street Journal covered 2015 and 16 when Noam was meeting with this guy. When that was known about Mr. Epstein was that he had been sentenced for a crime, served a sentence, which wiped the slate clean, according to U.S. law and norms. No. When it's a child rapist, it's never, ever.
That's inexcusable.
Ever.
It should be.
Wiped clean, ever. No, we keep our eye on you your whole life, and we put you on a list. Right?
Yeah, they have the highest recidivism rate. When they get out of prison, they commit the crime again. Higher than any other crime. It's a fact.
And why wouldn't that? You think that's
it's
not
incurable?
shocking?
No. But it's incurable.
But the crime itself is just inexcusable. I mean, it just
Lock
it
them up
is
forever.
Yeah, that's not.
Wait, man, this whole thing needs an enema. It's going down the tubes.
It does, and quick.
And I got money in the. I swear to God, I sat there pricing out silver coins.
That's why you have 8 million.
And why don't I have any silver coins? Because I don't have 8 million.
Are you sure, Charlie?
I got you, babe. Okay, listen, this uplift about child rapists brought to you by XG Service Group, who are experts in listening devices, security cameras,
They can help you bust them.
access control, Wi-Fi design and install. Yes, they can. Structured cable for buildings. All of your needs to be functioning in the new world of high tech, immediate response, right?
They're very quick, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Good guys. Mm-hmm.
And, when Comcast goes down, it's these guys that get the call. It's not, they're not the provider. They're the
Contractor.
Yeah, they put all there and take care of you, and they get it done. And if 400 people go down, you're going to hear from, you'll get the answer. We use them, and we always will. Call Matt Yaskovitz at 734-245-4100. Good luck with that big contract you're working on there, Bernie. And ADR's experience overseeing more than $250 million in private construction projects since the turn of the century. I mean,
You got to be tied in.
Right. And if you're not,
Yep.
you're a legitimate contract, if you're not tied in, right, and your company is not a member of the Detroit Athletic Club, and you don't have that inside access, you're going to get hit and hit and hit. And how do you navigate? The state's corrupt, the city's corrupt, the country's corrupt. How do you navigate that without losing your mind and losing your business?
How do you do that?
You get a representative, ADR. You call Barry Ellentuck at 248-318-9424 for a consultation. And I think we got to have him on the show soon so he can talk to us about the inside of what really happened with demolition
Oh yeah,
in this city. Oh, it's fascinating. Oh, it's ugly. Again, Barry Ellentuck. Reduce your costs, increase your bottom line. 248-318-9424. Get the job done right, on time, on budget. All right.
Look at you, Charlie.
Now, a word from our sponsors at American Coney Island. Get to Coney Kit. I know I looked at you. I'm stalling for you, Mark.
Oh, I got it. It's ready to roll.
He's ready.
Coney Kits, they're ready. We're ready. And remember this. The Lions are back. Every game is a big game. Every game is a championship game.
Every game's going to get us to the Super Bowl.
And no game is a real game without American Coney Island.
Two with everything. A side of cheese fries to go. Ready, set, go, Red, go.
Detroit might not make it to the championships, but you can have a little bit of Detroit at your next championship party. American Coney Island, 12 dogs with all the fixings. Airmail special, right to your door. That includes Alaska and Hawaii. AmericanConeyIsland.com. The first, the best, and better than all the rest. And they can't fly either.
Yeah, baby, I'm going to Vegas. They got a Coney store there too. Yeah.
Junior, what's your last name? Ruffin. Are you related to the late, great David Ruffin? Are you? No? Do you have a cousin named Jordan?
See, you think all black people are related or know each other.
His last name's Ruffin! It's not Jones. It's a very big name in this town. If his last name was Duggan, I'm like,
No, if his last name was Duggan, he wouldn't be in here. Not even on a humble. And you know that.
He's like Joe Biden's kid. Like, Daddy won't even recognize it. Welcome on. Well, Jeremiah Ruffin's now joined the program. He's our master of social media, marketing, advertising. Welcome on, man. Good to have you. Mm-hmm. Right on.
We have a black master. I'm just messing with Charlie. Go ahead. I'm just kidding, Charlie.
I actually felt clammy when you said that. Oh, my.
All right. What's next, Charlie? We're getting off of focus, as you
I'm so glad you're so involved with the show. What's next? Throw me a bone.
Let's see if he's here Thursday.
You're going to hate this, Karen, but
I thought you wanted to talk about the draft, Karen.
I need to talk about the draft, Karen. We need to talk about the Lions draft.
Why?
Why?
It's dude point. I'm going to be honest here.
I don't. This is like we got good time, space here. Let's use something substantive.
This is very important.
To
Look, like most dudes.
I'm not a dude.
They don't know what's going on with the banking sector. They don't know what's going on with average wealth in suburban Boston.
Or their families or their friends.
But they know the chest size of every guy they drafted this last weekend.
That's true.
And, I'm busy. I'm doing other stuff. But the Lions got a shot this year, and I need to be a dude. I need to be able to fake it at a tailgate. So Mark, I'm reading up on the Lions draft.
Yeah.
And there's a mixed consensus. Locally, the beat writers seem to think this was a slam dunk. And when you go to like ESPN or the Associated Press, they rank this in the bottom 3 of draft classes. Mm-hmm. Now, what's going on? Who do we got? What do you think? And why the divide?
Oh boy, wow, it's my time to shine. Because because there's too many mock drafts and everybody hears all these names float around, and then when somebody goes against the grain and picks people, it just shocks everybody because in the first round they chose positions that normally don't get chosen in the first round, right? That was kind of the issue. But then they won the next day, according to all these pundits. The fact remains, nobody knows. Nobody has any idea how good these guys are going to be. We know how good they were in college. They drafted really good college guys, but nobody knows. And so they go against what all the experts think. And I think it is fascinating how all the local people really love the draft and like the draft and how they won the draft. Because it kind of reminds me of what you were talking about earlier. It's all about access, right? Just like politics.
What do you mean?
Well, if they talk shit about the Lions, maybe they see their access cut, because do the Lions really need beat writers? Do they really need the free press? Do they really need the news in there covering it all the time? No, they can get their message out. So you don't want to lose access. So you kind of kiss ass a little bit.
Well, I think the beat writers, like if you look at who reads these papers, right? Half of their readership's from out of state, and they're reading about the sports. Mm-hmm. So the Lions can do what they wish, but I don't think you can get rid of the beat writers. However, the beat writers have an office in the facility.
Yeah.
And I think the beat writers are a little bit giddy because, the Lions are looking up.
And they feed them well.
Now.
And they feed them well. That's the other thing.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do.
You
You
get
know,
all the little perks and all the, like Mark said, the access.
This was the first time in a long time, though, where they had a high draft pick and some hope for next year. I mean, they actually were, 9-8 last year.
Right.
And now they got good draft picks. So it's kind of, usually we get really excited about, don't shrug your shoulders at me.
see, I know. She's
Now you're ruining the vibe of how excited us
we're
Lions
giving her
fans
dude
are.
stuff. It's really, see, it's like, why do women want to be in men's clubs? Because this is what they do.
I don't want to be in a
They're
men's
totally
club.
fucking boring. I don't want to be in a men's
I
club.
didn't ask to be in a men's club.
Red's in a men's club for hair.
Red has a lot of hair.
He does.
I mean, look at him. It's coming from under his cap.
That's
Never mind.
it's a
Charlie.
trick. It's an optical illusion. I know what he's doing over there.
Calm
All right.
down.
So the national sports rate is tank.
Yeah, nobody
Thumbs
like-
down.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Or
The,
average, yeah.
the locals love him. Let's start first. Jameer Gibbs from Alabama.
Dude's a stud.
It's a stud. Running back. Like runs a 4.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like explosive. Like
very good.
Right. He's the home run hitter.
Yeah, but people got mad because he was drafted way too early.
You got mad
I did not like the pick originally.
too early.
I kind of thought so, yeah. I like the player. I like the pick.
Like you could have got him with the lower draft
the
pick.
18, yeah.
Who would you rather have had?
Well, I kind of like that. I kind of like Jalen Carter. The people that
I love how he's chuckling like they know inside in that. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's the guy that showed up to the draft combine out of shape. He had a little car racing incident that killed 2 people in Georgia that he left and then came back. I mean, a lot of character issues, but have you seen him play?
Oh my!
I mean, I sound like an NFL executive. I don't care about any of
that
that
doesn't
stuff.
sum up America and sports.
Of course it does.
He just revealed himself.
God.
What are you talking about?
Well,
he
he
didn't-
has some character issues, but he can play.
Hey, a couple people dead. He's so fat he couldn't finish his workout. But hey,
Yeah.
he never went to Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
I can separate art from the artist.
Okay, so Jameer Gibbs, Mark, what are you giving that? A yay or a nay?
Yeah, I'll take it. It's a good one. I wasn't nuts about the pick, but
Well, I was like this too,
In
man.
totality.
What they do with DeAndre Swift?
well, they blew him out. They got rid of him.
they just-
I
they
could not
just-
stand him, yeah.
Yeah, he never hit the hole. And
You're right.
he's always
he never
hurt.
he wanted to bounce it outside.
He's
yeah.
super talented, man. Now he's going to
An
Philly,
injury.
where he's from, on a contract
And now he'll
here.
run for
Watch him get
1,500
1,500 fucking yards.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
know.
Yeah. That'll be lion luck.
And they got David Montgomery from the
from the Bears.
From the Bears. So that's going to be your bruiser.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's
maybe
a good pay. It fits in this offense, right?
plus, what's his name? Jameson Williams.
yeah,
Their first round draft.
he's out for 6 weeks.
He's out for 6 weeks for gambling in the facility. So there's a character issue there.
But have you seen him play?
Yeah, he caught
really
one ball
good.
and dropped.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I was just.
He caught one pass for a touchdown and dropped 3.
Okay, I don't know.
So I
was
think
just-
his days are numbered
it's
here.
just the
I,
timing.
I think he's kind of a bust.
He's
was
a
just the
number.
timing.
He's a number 2 receiver anyway. So you could slide Gibbs into the slot
yeah,
and get yourself some speed.
yeah, you can use him all over the
So
place.
not a bad pick of mine. Number second round was Jack Campbell out of Iowa. I love this one. You hate this one too.
No, I just once again, it's where the pick was chosen, right? I didn't like taking him there. Really good college player. He's
Great.
huge.
He's 6'4",
dude.
250.
Yeah,
He's the Butkus Award winner. He's an academic All-American.
he can tackle. He can run.
And you know that shuttle cone shit back side to side? In the last 5 years, all linebackers that did that shuttle cone run, he clocked the fastest time. So the guy can cover a tight end.
Yeah.
Tight ends are getting faster and faster. I think it's a great pick. The Lions have a lot of trouble stopping the run.
Yeah.
And now you got your guy. I thought that was a good pick.
Yeah, I just didn't like where it was taken.
Do I sound like a beat writer?
You do. Yeah, you love this draft. You're all in.
Who next? Sam Laporta, also out of Iowa,
tight
tight
end,
end.
yeah.
He can run.
Sure.
He can run. Okay. Well, who'd we get rid of? Who we traded?
T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah,
Another
Hawkinson.
Iowa, tight end. Yeah.
So that was a need. Safety Brian Branch.
Great draft pick.
His
Excellent pick.
dad paid for what? The Patriots?
God, I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. He's
Sounds
a
about
safety.
right.
You can the
know what I-
safety today is now what the middle linebacker used to be.
Is that the father who didn't he? No, never mind.
No, I want to hear this.
No, I can't remember.
Come on,
Never
come on.
mind. No, I mean, there was someone that was drafted and their dad, I believe, was a player. But
Yes.
he had gotten hurt or paralyzed. And is that
No, I don't know if you got paralyzed.
Okay.
I don't know. But hey, wait, thanks for adding that in. See, this,
That was good.
we can hang at the bar. Sports bar,
No.
Karen, chicken wings for Karen.
I don't drink. But you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing I did not like about the draft. And they've done this before.
That it's going to be here next year?
Ooh, that's another story.
I got to
But-
paint this whole fucking story.
But no, but you know how the players that were killed and they honored them in the
In Virginia.
beginning. I understand what they're doing, but I almost think it's there's something not right about it, because you're dangling in front of these families that they've not only lost their family member, their son, but also the life that I know that they hung on to this, and you're seeing all this celebrating, and I don't know, it's just something real not right about it.
Ideally, you would hope that they would have been contacted and said, is this okay?
Yeah,
but it's the NFL, and they just like to virtue signal.
I know,
and put,
but then they
all
just
these stories out there, and
I just something about having the families up there and you're giving them this, the jersey. And,
I'm with you. But
What?
they got to fill a lot of time.
What are we
Yeah,
fucking talking about?
The draft,
Yeah, we're talking about the draft.
from Karen's perspective.
Oh, I didn't watch a lick of it. I didn't.
I watched that.
I just
part.
tried to get my man points.
You didn't see the Jonas Brothers on there?
The Jonas Brothers.
No, I didn't see that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were on Thursday night for a long time.
Which one got drafted? Both of them?
Kevin, because no one likes Kevin.
You're talking about the pop duo, right?
Yeah.
They got drafted?
No, they were on the draft, just
Thought it was-
yapping about something forever. I don't know why.
God, I just revealed myself. Okay.
The Joe Bros?
yeah.
Big Joe Bro fan? Do
The Jabos?
you like Nick or Joe better? No one likes Kevin.
I don't know them either. I'm busy. All right, listen. They also draft, I think, a need. They got nobody in the quarterback room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Hendon
mean?
Hooker- Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Nate
they
Sudfeld, that's it. Yeah. Outside of golf.
so they got Hendon Hooker out of Tennessee, who, okay, he was a top 5 Heisman finalist. I know he's older. How old is this guy?
25, same as Lamar Jackson, I believe. 24, he'll be 25, yeah.
I thought that would they get him 4th round?
Yeah, good. That's
a
fine
nice
pick.
pickup
He doesn't
right
have
there.
to play. He can learn. He can heal.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
I mean, it's a need. So I think I'm gonna give this draft a B plus, man. Be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But don't the Lions always have good players and it still doesn't translate to anything
Look,
on the field?
The problem with the draft is every team usually loves all their draft picks, because you don't draft guys you think are going to be like.
But you've got dynamics, you've got coaching, you've got a whole lot of other variables that are going to come into play as to whether or not it produces.
We've never had it here.
Has what?
A good front office, good scouts, good picks. Like it was
been 30 years.
disaster.
Since then.
Okay.
And so that's why everybody's a little bit
There's
giddy.
some hype, yeah.
Like we got 3 elite defenders in the back, the corners and the safety. We got
New
Okay.
signings,
we got 2 safeties sitting there.
Go
We got
Lions.
we got a linebacker that can run, right?
yeah.
Whatever.
We got a good defensive line, a great offensive line. Now you got 2 explosive backs, and it comes down to the quarterback.
This city would lose its mind if this team advanced to even the conference championship or the Super Bowl.
I
It
gave
would
up club level
explode.
season tickets years ago. 'cause
Understandable.
It just wasn't happening.
Oh, I totally understand that, but if
was a
and when
waste.
it happens,
Playoffs are not enough because we've seen the playoffs in our lifetime, and they don't win them.
They don't ever win a game, yeah.
But we must win a home playoff game, which is ridiculous. That's like an astronaut saying, "I'm trying to get to Gary, Indiana." You know what I'm saying? Like Super Bowl, baby,
the place everybody's been, yeah,
Super Bowl.
yeah.
And you know what? I mean, I'm sick of the Lions ruining my whole winter. Right?
with
You turn it on, they lose, it's dark, 60 Minutes is on, the weekend's over.
You're right.
It's like that my whole life.
You're right. Yeah.
Keep hope
And
alive.
speaking of weather, you know what's fucked up? It's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's May. So let's see. Winter in Michigan. I know this because, I have a daughter. She's doing well. Thank you for asking. October's cold because I remember going out there as daddy with the flask of whiskey because it's so cold. So October's winter. November, December, January, February, March, April. The winter's 7 months long.
Now 8.
Now 8. And here's our weather report. Brought to you by James Harvey.
Weather report. Here go the goddamn weather report. It's fucking cold. Clouds all over the place. Not a fucking spit of sunshine. I mean, this is pure Michigan for you. Here it is, May, and it's supposed to snow tonight. I thought we was done with that bullshit, but apparently not. But on the bright side, look at it this way. it's too cold for people to go downtown and get shot in Greektown. So maybe that'll help curb some of the crime that's going on. But other than that, the weather is just lovely if you love dreary, gloomy, and fucking cold. Come on, man. We ready to get into some summer. Michigan, pure Michigan. Weather, pure bullshit.
There you have it. James Harvey, chief meteorologist here at the No Bullshit News Hour.
That was a nice shot, too. I like them.
It's some bullshit. Bullshit.
You sound like Eric Mays.
That's some bullshit. Just doing it till Mark.
There's a lot of bullshit going on down here.
Now, speaking of Mark Mays.
Eric Mays. You said Mark.
It's all right. I know where your head is.
Mark Mays, an old college buddy.
Really?
Yeah. Hey,
Sounds
Mark,
like a great guy.
Yeah, I think his ex-wife would beg to differ, but
She's biased.
yes. Eric Mays was sentenced to probation last week for disorderly conduct. He's America's city councilman up there in Flint, and he got convicted of disorderly conduct, cuffed, taken out of the city council meeting for disorderly conduct because he was getting in a fight. And he has to be removed so he didn't lose his mind. And the city council president granted him permission, which by the rules of Flint allowed him to return. If you walk out and don't get permission, you can't return. If you ask for permission to walk out, you can come back. But Eric wasn't allowed to, and he was convicted, even though the city council president said, I never gave him permission. So what we did was we went back to April 22nd, 2022, April 25th, 2022. And here's the excerpts of America City Councilman Eric Mays, currently on Livernois Avenue, the Avenue of Fashion, getting fitted for his suit.
Oh, all right.
I was going to run out there and videotape it, but we got a show to do. Okay, anyway.
Mr. Mays, you've had your first warning. Please continue.
May I ask to be excused, or you won't get the pleasure of throwing
Yes, you
me
may.
out? May
Yes,
I
you
be
may.
excused?
Yes,
I have to
you
listen
may.
in the audience.
Yes, you may be excused. Chief, please continue, and I apologize. Mr. Mays, I believe that you
happened to all the
excused
beginning of
yourself from this meeting.
No, I didn't, Madam Chair. I can get up and excuse myself to go to the bathroom, anything, if you believe in wrong about me.
Mr. Mays, the chair was under the impression that you wanted to be excused
The
from the
chair
meeting.
was wrong.
Mr. Mays, are you requesting to rejoin the meeting?
I don't have to. Once I'm excused, I can come back.
Mr. Mays, you were excused from the meeting by your choice.
I was excused to go pee
Mr. Mays,
for whatever I did. In my mind, I believe you want me gone from my elected seat, and you can't control that. Madam Chair, I just informed the chief of police, when y'all remove me illegally out of my seat, it'll be with the police and force.
Mr.
Because
Mays,
that's my position. So the cameras can get ready, y'all can get ready. I
Mr.
will
Mays.
fight for my elected seat. When folks is excused and they come back and forth, this first ward councilman
Mr.
won't
Mays,
be
you do not
discriminated
have the
against.
floor.
So Chief,
Mr.
you might well
Mays.
get ready.
Mr. Mays, you do not have the floor.
But I got my seat.
You will be excused from this meeting. You excused yourself from the meeting. You may go sit in the audience. Mr. Mays, you may go sit in the audience. This is your warning.
He hasn't moved an inch.
I'm sitting here in my seat.
Mr. Mays, are you refusing to leave your seat to go sit in the audience?
He hasn't moved an inch.
Seeing no movement from the councilman in the first ward, Officer Metcalf, can you please remove Mr. Mays?
Book him, Dano. Here we go.
There he is, getting cuffed.
Look, and he looks like he knows how to do it, like he's been there before. There it is. Did I ever tell you, like, he was going to be mayor of Flint. He was the only guy that filed on time because the city clerk told everybody the wrong date. So he filed. And then the Democrats and the Republicans were talking amongst themselves, like, we can't, all the hard work we did in Flint, we can't turn it over to Mays. Let's change the law. Boom. So they did. And then he got popped, drinking and driving, had some weed on him. He was on the wrong side of the highway with 4 flat tires. And they made him do like 21 days in jail, which is right across from City Hall. So he's in jail looking down at the swearing in of the mayor that he was supposed to be. Now, do you realize he defended himself not only in this case, but in that drinking and driving case?
Wow. You know, he's a TikTok star, too. They love him on TikTok.
That's why he's getting a new suit. So, but here's what TikTok does not know. When Eric Mays was defending himself in the DUI, he said to the jury, they gave me a breathalyzer without removing my dentures. And it's scientific fact that you can blow a false positive on a breathalyzer if your dentures are still in. So he took out his dentures and he put them on the bar right there in front of the jury. He said, ladies and gentlemen, if the teeth don't fit, you must acquit.
Oh, boy.
I can't believe he got probation when that evidence right there shows that he didn't leave.
I mean, I don't get it. It's bullshit. You know, and there was a
They're picking on
movement.
him.
They tried to get him removed from his seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his actual representation.
Yeah.
Not his literal seat.
Okay, now he might be annoying in his tactics a little bit too much. Like these meetings are 8 hours long, these city council meetings. But I know of no person at that level of city council in this area that fights for the people as much as this man.
Yeah, he's passionate and he's committed. I mean, he does speak up. His approach may be a little unorthodox, but he gets the attention that's needed to the issues that are otherwise overlooked.
And man, he's bright. I mean, he knows the law. He knows what's going on. He knows what happened with that water poisoning.
Yeah, he does.
And he'll call out the Democrats and the Republicans because Flint got nothing.
It's true.
So, you know, he deserves a little attention. He deserves a new suit. Because here's what's also going on in Flint today. There's a hearing. Remember the two children, excuse me, that died a year ago in the Flint house fire, Lamar and Zaire Cooper, 7 and 11 years old. The firefighters, it was found in an official report, pretended they searched the house. They didn't. And those boys could have been saved. And it was only through the second search that they found them. And they died a few days later. So there's a $50 million lawsuit. There's a motion in circuit court today, Flint, if you're listening. It's near the county jail, the circuit court, that the city of Flint wants to dismiss the lawsuit because of government immunity, meaning because we're incompetent, it's not illegal. So everything I know about the current administration in Flint and what they're doing and how they're managing the money and what happened with the water settlement and what's happening with the budget and the police and this kind of shit with these children.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you are incompetent. Yeah. So I hope the judge does not rule in these children's favor. I hope, because if the judge does say, Flint, take a fucking walk, it's moving forward, the city's allowed to appeal this. And this thing will drag on and on
Forever
and on.
and
So I'm hoping, Judge, if you're listening, you will say, we were going to table that decision until discovery's done, until we put everybody under oath and find out what they were doing.
It really happened.
Yeah.
Because when 2 babies die in Grosse Pointe, the whole world is there with a candle. And when 2 babies die in Flint, nothing. And all babies' lives matter. Babies' lives matter most. It's a fucking outrage.
That's who we are, Charlie.
All right, now, finally, talking about children, finally. The border's a fucking mess. This administration's a disaster. Say it about the last administration. The border was a mess. It was a disaster. We were treated to kids in cages. Remember that? And AOC's down there crying, kids in cages. Here, this is the border yesterday.
Wow.
Kids in cages in a parking lot. Zoom in if you can. Can you do that?
I can try. Hang on.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind. Kids in cages. Where is the outrage? Equal outrage for anybody that can't get the people's business done. Equal outrage. New York Times did a very sophisticated report. In the last 3 years, two plus, under the Biden administration, 385,000 children unaccompanied made their way into this country. This is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Border Patrol, by law, can only have them for 72 hours. Then they must turn them over to the Department of Health and Human Services who will place the children, whether it be your parents or volunteers, people that will sort of foster care. But they're not vetting the foster care providers.
Jeez.
One phone call. Out of this 385,000 children, 85,000 children have disappeared. They don't know where they are. And the New York Times did a big expose. They're working slave labor in slaughterhouses. They're handling chemicals. This administration is now the middleman for children trafficking from the cartels. This is a fact. And if you have any kind of heart, you got to know this is a problem. You have to know that when people blow the whistle and they get put upon by the power, that this is a problem. And it's going to get worse. Here, put up some pictures from El Paso from yesterday.
Slower, okay?
This is El Paso. It's a tent city. They expect on May 11th, and I think I got to go back down to the border. On May 11th, when Title 42 ends, the COVID, you can't come in, even though we let 70% of the people in anyway, it's going to expire. There are hundreds of thousands of people. You know, we were down there. There are hundreds of thousands of people waiting.
Wow.
They're going to jump. This is El Paso 2 weeks before the end of it. It's wall to wall. There's tent cities. They anticipate perhaps as many as 20,000 people a day are going to come. Last week, across the whole southern border, they detained 50,000 refugees. 50,000. That doesn't include those that got away. 50,000. And 57 pounds of fentanyl. This isn't working.
I don't think that app's working very well either. Remember the app?
Yeah, that we were talking about,
Yeah.
that, you know,
The
that
refugee
picture
app.
of my dog, and I'm Mike Hunt. They never asked me if I was a refugee.
Yeah.
So I registered for the app for the refugee. Instead of bum rushing, get on the app. So I got on there. My name's Mike Hunt. It's my dog's picture. And when you try to get to the last one, like send, it doesn't send. All you got to do is ask the refugees. It doesn't work.
Yeah, they're having trouble too.
And they're
getting
sick
their
of waiting
pictures.
in Mexico, sick of them panhandling and shitting in the middle of town. Like it's a engineered humanitarian disaster. And if anybody wants to debate me, please bring it. Please bring it.
Intentional dysfunctionality.
For what purpose?
I don't know. I mean, but you know, that's how we're seeing everything. And I don't know. I wish I had an answer, Charlie.
Slave labor of children. Children in cages. Where is everybody? Do we have the Mayorkas clip or not?
I don't know.
Yeah. This bum goes on Meet the Press and just is the border secure and some gobbledygook about, you know, doing the best we can with the resources at hand and managing what?
Saying a lot of words, meaning
Kicking the
nothing.
can.
Yeah.
The fucking cartels run the border. That's what Dark Brandon did. And yeah, it was a mess under Trump. It was. So now you're seeing that on social media. Well, what about Trump? It's always about what about? What about fixing it?
But it's always been a mess. That's the thing. None of that has changed, regardless of who has been the leader.
But if you're yelling about it when Trump is in charge, you should be yelling about it now because nothing has changed.
If you're a human.
If you're not a partisan, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Everybody looks through their partisan
prism.
lens,
Yeah,
and that makes it okay. If you like the person, what they do is okay, and if you don't like the person, what they do is not okay.
None of it's okay.
And it's not okay. I mean, it should not be okay. You can't be subjective when it comes to something like this. And you're talking about children. There's a humanitarian component that's just totally being ignored.
Mm-hmm. And a third of women making that trip through Central America, they get raped.
Yeah. The young girls, remember you talked to the young lady. I mean, I don't see how that's okay with anybody under any circumstance or from any party.
When we were down there and you're looking at the mound of trash left by the wave of humanity, and I'm looking at the passport of a 14-year-old girl from Venezuela, and a month prior when I found that on the ground, her mother had gotten her
birth control pills.
Not pills, or
Well,
it's
whatever, something
the
patch.
implant. Yeah. Like, whoa.
Yeah, because they know what they're up against, and
they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and so what do you do to try to offer some small degree of protection against the very things that they shouldn't be concerned about.
Well, a lot of Venezuelans are actually from living in Colombia for the last 5-10 years. So, how about a lottery? You can't really be claiming this is asylum and there's hit squads out for you. And on going back to the application online, they don't ask you if you're claiming asylum. They just ask you, are you afraid to be in Mexico? That's it. There's no way to run.
But if it never gets sent through, then it doesn't matter what they're asking.
It looks like I got to go back down there, man. It's going to be, it's just insane. Hey, Jeremiah, you want to go, huh? Yeah, he's like, let's do it. Kid don't even know. Let's do it. You're going to be down there with El Oso del Norte, Byron shit in his pants. We took Byron. You met Byron? He's a fucking giant of a man. He's like, I'm in for whatever, but I don't want to die. And I'm like, I can't promise that. I mean, don't worry about it. If you die, you'll be dead. You won't even know it. Work's got to be done.
Mark and I hold down everything up here.
Sure, yeah.
That's right. All right, so, we'll work on Eric and Chief Craig, Chief James Craig. I think that guy's going to be running for senator. That's what I think.
That's good. That's fine. He should.
I talked to him for a minute, and he was a little upset with what former Attorney General Mike Cox was saying about him. So let's have him on the rebut.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let's. Junior over there is getting tired. So
Junior.
He's getting tired.
If he's tired now.
Didn't see nothing yet.
Oh, boy.
Okay, remember, let's just. What have we learned today?
That everything's screwed up.
The media's bullshit. The uniparty's in charge. We're not doing anything for our kids. It's cold.
And the Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
Don't forget that Cody kid.